How to create sexual tension like a Jedi master. In this training, I'm going to teach you exactly what needs to happen when you are with your ideal woman so that she can feel the sexual tension with you, so that she can feel the chemistry, so that she can feel so attracted to you. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you a very dark technique that will make her dripping wet. So stay tuned. Let's start now. So first we need to define what is sexual tension. For me, it's very, very simple. Where there is polarity, meaning you're masculine and she's the feminine, there is tension. Yeah. So if you're embodying the masculine and she's the feminine, there will be tension because opposites attract each other. It's as simple as that. Don't overcomplicate it. What no one tells you about sexual tension is that it's very different than just experiencing tension before or during a date. So what I mean by this is, when you feel a little bit weird, uncomfortable, maybe anxious, that is not sexual tension, okay? Forget about that. Even when you're on a date, right? You could feel anxious, you could stress a little bit, you could feel weird, uncomfortable. That's not sexual tension, yeah? Also, you cannot have sexual tension with every single woman that you meet. And especially the ones that you don't feel attracted to and the women that are not attracted to you. Yeah. So as an experiment, you can try to force sexual tension with a woman you don't feel attracted to and see what happens. And that's because there is no attraction. If there is no attraction, if she doesn't see you as a potential mate, then forget about having sexual tension. So now let's move on to what you should not do. And usually the mistakes that you're doing here, as you can see, they are connected to you being scared of sexual tension. And it manifests in different ways. So for example, you're avoiding silences. You try to fill the silences with another conversational topic, which is a big mistake. So pay attention to whenever you feel uncomfortable when there is a silence. And you break the uncomfort with another conversational topic. This is actually killing the sexual tension. Also, you could be overthinking about what to do and say to her. Yeah? Because maybe you care about her liking you and you're feeling anxious, you're feeling stressed. And basically, this is killing the sexual tension as well. So instead, you want to be connected to your body and your dick energy. But I'll talk more about this. If you break eye contact, that's it. She will lose attraction, she will lose respect, and there is no way she goes home with you. If you're speaking too fast, the same thing. She will see it. You're nervous. She will lose attraction as well. And another one that is a little bit more subtle, if your body language is forced and way too tense, which obviously she will see, like you're pretending to be the alpha male, super strong, but it's forced. So it's off and it's fake, and she will not like you for it. She will lose respect, she will lose attraction. There's no way she goes home with you, neither have sex, and forget about having a relationship with her. So, yeah, a lot of traps here, huh? Now let's dive into what needs to happen for the sexual tension to be there. Well, the pillar is to be polarizing. And this simply means that you need to embody your masculine energy. And this will create natural sexual tension with her. But let's define what is a masculine energy. There are so many definitions here. Like you could get lost with the definition of masculine. So I'll just give you an analogy so that you can really grasp it like this. Imagine you having sex with a woman. The masculine is penetrating and the feminine receives. That's it. That's it. Masculine penetrates, feminine receives. Period. Don't overcomplicate it. As a practice that you can start to do right now, actually, after the presentation, start to express yourself unapologetically. So you don't want to convey any value, you don't want to seek any validation, you don't want to filter yourself. You really allow yourself to be unfiltered. Just say whatever the fuck you want and see what happens. And this is actually something that I did in my life a long time ago. And I mean, I still do it right now, but when I discovered this, it was a long time ago. I think like 5 or 6 years ago. And I remember at that time I was still very shy. I cared about people judging me. I cared about the woman I was meeting, if they like me or not. And basically I was filtering myself so much that At one point, I just got tired because I could feel it was such a trap. I was in the cage, and the door was open, but I was deciding consciously to stay in that cage. So at one point, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to express and do whatever I fucking want. And when this happened, oh Lord, I started to have crazy experiences, like instant date, like going in the street, having an instant date, and then sometime having sex within 1-2 hours. This blew my mind. But just in general, I would get more attention. If I would meet a woman, there will be some initial attraction, which was very interesting for me because I was not getting that. And just generally speaking, I was having better interactions, more dating opportunities, and more sex in general. It was very beautiful experience at the time that it really blew my mind because I could not believe that this was happening. Second thing that you can do to create sexual tension is to be uncertain about what will be your next move. Now, take it with a grain of salt, this one. Because if you overdo that, if you become this mysterious man, she will not trust you, right? So don't do it too much. You need to find the right balance for this. But being unpredictable can be a magnet, and women will feel so attracted to you, and there will be some sexual tension for sure. And as a pro tip, the best way to become more unpredictable is to connect to your body. So what I mean by this is instead of overthinking about how do I create sexual tension, which is happening right now, you're watching this training, which it's good, you can think about it right now, but when you're in front of her, you want to connect to your body and actually follow what your intuition is telling you to do. So look at it like this. You're on a date, and then there is this voice telling you, you should be doing that right now. You should tell her that. But you're shutting down this voice because you're too scared, because you think, oh, she will not like it, blah, blah, blah. This is actually killing the attraction, killing the dynamic, and especially killing the sexual tension. You need to do that. You need to listen to that little voice that is telling you what to do and what to say, but it's too scary to do it. So I want to share a story here. And the story, you take it with a grain of salt again. Yeah, be careful. I was experimenting to be bold in my interaction, and especially when I was inviting a woman on a date. So what I did is very simple. I started to basically do the most scary thing I could do when I would meet a girl for a date. And at that time it was what? Let's go to my place right away. Let's not go to a cafe or a restaurant or a bar. We will go to my place right away. So as soon as I would meet the woman, I would take her hand and then be like, let's go. And she would be like, where? And I'll be like, going to my place right now. A lot of times I got rejected, but sometimes it would work actually, which was very interesting. And by doing this, obviously this was so unpredictable. Like, the woman thought we're going to a date, and I would tell her straight up, we're going to my place. And I was so certain about this. I was like, we're going to my place in a very dominant way. But it created this polarity. Now, the mistake I did back then was that I went from one extreme, holding myself back, being shy, not doing what I really want to do, to, being wild, but way too wild, which became scary for the woman I was with, and, obviously it didn't work too much. So you got to find the balance, right? And the balance is in your body. What feels right in your body, you do it, because this is a good indicator. Let's move on to the third thing that can help you create sexual tension. Well, relaxation, my friend. This is the backbone. If you're not relaxed, there will be no sexual tension. Because if you fall for the sexual tension, then you're lost. When there is sexual tension, you want to relax your body. You want to relax every single muscle in your body. Yeah? So one trap here is to force sexual tension, right? Yeah? Like, you don't want to force it. You really want to be relaxed about it. And when it naturally arises, when there is sexual tension, you relax your entire body. The pro tip here is to relax your pelvis floor when you're on a date. Don't ask me why. So the pelvic floor is basically in between your anus and your balls. Relax this area see what happens. What I have experienced and my clients have experienced is simple. They feel their sexual energy spreading all over their body. And it's going to go into the woo-woo stuff here, but you become more glowy, more attractive, and a lot of things can happen from here. But especially you relax the sexual energy. And this, my friend, is the ingredient. Sexual energy plus tension is sexual tension, So something that you want to experiment, don't judge it right now, just experiment it and see what happens. Let's move on to the last point that can help you create sexual tension. Practice semen retention. Now, if you're someone that feel a lot of sexual energy without semen retention, all good. You don't need to do it. But if you're someone like me that enjoys playing with this kind of stuff, then this can be an amazing way to create sexual tension. The reason why is very simple. You increase your sexual energy, and it's going to overflow at one point. And if it overflows, sexual tension is just going to happen randomly and naturally. Randomly is because I'll tell you a story later. Now, you want to practice semen retention the right way. This is something I teach very thoroughly in my mentoring, because if you don't circulate your sexual energy when you do semen retention, then forget about doing it, because it's going to be risky. You could create some prostate problems and other stuff that I don't even want to mention here. So be careful with that. Take it with a grain of salt. You should be doing it with someone that has experience with it, okay? Now, an experiment that you can do is to go on a date with a woman after not ejaculating for 21 days. See what happens. It's magic, I'll tell you. So, a little bit of a story here. I was living in Budapest, in Hungary, for those that don't know. And I was just walking the street, relaxed, and I started to get a lot of attention from everyone, not just women, from everyone. And I was like, whoa, this semen retention is actually working, because this was not happening before. Yeah. Go outside after 25 days and this is happening. And then I arrive at this square and I just relax, I'm standing, relaxing, looking at the buildings. And then suddenly these two very beautiful Hungarian women approached me, started to flirt with me, and they wanted to go on a date with me. Funny enough, you're going to hate me for this, I had to work on my business at the time, so I had to refuse. So nothing happened, yeah. But it was a very interesting experience. So I just wanted to share that with you, and it was really amazing at the time. But yeah, nothing happened in this time. Now let me give you some tips. I will give you 4 tips, and the last one is going to be a really powerful one. The first one is look at her deep in the eyes and relax every single muscle in your body. Don't break the tension. So for example, if there is a silence, look at her deep in the eyes. See what happens. A little bit of a story here. I was in Prague. I met this Czech woman that did the Kembo ceremony, like frog poison stuff that I never did myself. And it was a very interesting date, because we arrived at this bar next to my place, talked for a little bit, and then I just started looking at her, right? And instead of being like a 10-20 second stare, it became a 10 minutes stare. Which, at first I was like, oh my God, what is happening? It's a little bit uncomfortable. But then I just relaxed, right? And man, the sexual tension that was there was just insane. It was powerful. Then we talked a little bit more, and again, 10 minutes more of just staring in the eyes. And then I just told her, let's go to my place. She followed, and we had a beautiful night. Very powerful night. So, yeah, interesting story. I don't think it can happen with every single woman you meet, but with that woman, it happened, and it was just amazing. Second tip, the art of flirting. I'm not going to go too much into detail here, because it's going to be it could be like a whole training in itself. So if you want to actually catch this training that I will do, because I'm planning to do it actually, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video also, that can help me. And I'll make a powerful training about flirting. But basically, in short, embrace your inner child and playfully tease her in a way that feels absolutely right for you. Especially make sure that it resonates with your personality. Yeah. So if you're someone that follows scripts, lines, routines, it could work. You can have sex. You can, have more dates and stuff like that, but it will probably not resonate with your personality, and you will attract the wrong kind of woman because you're not really embodying your personality. Another thing that you might experience is a subconscious blockage around flirting and being playful, and that's because you simply lost touch of your with your inner child. So in that case, this is something that I'm teaching thoroughly in my mentoring. You want to reconnect with your inner child. This can happen within 1 or 2 one-on-one sessions. And then naturally you become someone more playful, flirting, you become more of a seducer. And you don't have to force it because that's you. It's just you. You just unlocked this part of you. Pro tip here, there is a certain energy within yourself that you can directly tap into so you can start to be playful. So what I mean by this is your inner child, yeah? And it's really almost like you're coming back to the child you were and allowing yourself to not take things so seriously. You see what I mean by this? It can be super powerful. Now, the third tip, and this is pretty self-explanatory, escalate physically. So I'm not going to go too much into details here, but basically what I usually tell to my clients is to gradually increase the physicality during the date. So the more you feel attraction, the more you can be touchy with her. But this depends on the woman. It can be complex. And in my experience, funny enough, you don't have to be so much physical. A lot of times I was not physical. I could still pull home and have sex. So, it really has to be aligned with your personality. It has to be aligned in like if it feels right or not, and then you just do it. But funny enough, I need to share a story with you. This is a South Korean woman that I met in Prague, in Palladium, for those that knows Prague. And we had a good connection. She was attracted to me, so I invited her for coffee in a coffee place. And very quickly, I started to escalate physically with her. So first, I touch her hair, then her neck, and just increase, the physicality. And long story short, after 20-30 minutes in the cafe, I was fingering her in the cafe. And let me tell you, there was a lot of sexual tension. Obviously, she went to my place after that, and we had a beautiful sexual experience with each other. It was very powerful. And lastly, this is the powerful sexual tension tip that I want to give you. This is for advanced, for guys that already are doing well. You can add this to spice it up. Dirty talking. So not all women will love that on a date, but some will. And if you're able to do it correctly, meaning you're speaking slowly, you describe vividly what is you're going to do to her, what you will do to her basically. So you really go into the details. You paint an exciting story that can actually happen, and you can back it up. That's super important. If you dirty talk and you don't back it up, you're just a joke, brother. So be careful with that. Another pro tip is you can whisper in her ear. This can be really powerful. So, little story here. I had a date with this Czech woman again. I know I was living in Prague for a little bit, so I had a lot of experience over there. So we had a date, and I don't want to go too much into the details, but basically at one point during the date, because I could feel that she was ready for that, again, intuitively, I was connected to my body. Intuitively, I was like, okay, this is the moment to do that. I got closer to her ear and started to whisper exactly what I will do to her after that last drink. So I started like, what will happen after this last drink? Well, we're going to start walking towards my place, and then we will arrive at my place. I will light some candles, blah, 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 right? I went into the details, and then I backed it up. And it worked. We had a beautiful night together. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt, this one, because it's really advanced. It's not for everyone, but it works. It can work. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this training with me. I really appreciate it. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel if you enjoyed this training, like the video, because I'm planning to do way more training, probably once a week. So stay tuned, guys. And if you want to go into another training that I have in realdatingconfidence.com, you can click on that link and you will get a training on how to attract your ideal woman into a long-term relationship. Thank you guys for watching, and I see you when I see you. Peace.